Welcome into another edition of Sports Junkies here at RacineSportsZone.com. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer from Sports Radio 1250 WSSP and, of course, 105.7 FM The Fan. Check us out. We're available everywhere. On your app, on Twitter at 105.7 FM The Fan, Facebook, we have a fan page, and now we're on Instagram.
I give up.
I did me too. I don't know.
Whatever happened.
My boss said we're on Instagram now. I said, what's Instagram? But we're on Instagram at 105.7 FM The Fan.
I still have a radio. I turn the channels,
Yeah. I like those.
I bought it like 1975.
Yeah, the year before I was born. He is Gery Woelfel
you
of the
were
Racine
born
Journal
in
Times.
76.
Sure was. I turned 40 this year.
Way to go, old man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, 40.
Old man club.
There's nothing special. Did you have an 8-track player?
Oh, I had everything.
Did you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, my parents had an 8-track player and our pacer.
Oh.
You remember the pacer?
Absolutely.
My dad would take our pacer and we would go to a grocery store parking lot and do donuts in the snow at night. I tried not to hit a light pole. It was definitely not safe. Don't do that, kids.
No.
Okay, Gary.
You're really a positive influence. What do you think you do? Work for the WIAA?
No. I'll leave that alone. Let's talk.
My favorite group.
They're awful. But let's before we get to how awful they are at their jobs, let's talk a little bit first about that Horlick game from a couple of days ago with Troy Lar and his Horlick team. 111. Yeah, 111 points they throw up.
Do you believe that?
No, but hold on.
That's mind-boggling.
But hold on. That I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that part of it.
Okay.
What I don't believe is that Indian Trail threw up, 94?
Yeah, exactly.
That is what because when I heard Horlick threw up 111, I'm like, oh, they killed somebody by like 60 points then. Who do they beat? Right? I figure some bad team.
Right.
Indian Trail. I'm like, Indian Trail? I'm like, what do they have? When I heard that, I was like, goodness gracious.
See, that's where the WIAA, in its infinite wisdom again, came in and decided to change the timing format of the game. Mm-hmm. So now all these records that have been held over the year are going to go out the window.
That's fine.
No,
if it leads to a more entertaining product, I'm fine with it.
I don't know if it's going to be more entertaining. I mean, this is the exception because you got two teams that just love to run and gun. Right. And the thing is, I forgot what Horlick and Indian Trail combined. I think it was like 29 3-points.
Probably.
They should go up to Milwaukee and show the Bucks how to shoot a three-pointer,
Yeah.
But, I mean, what a fabulous game to be at if you were a fan or a player or a coach or whatever.
Yeah, you'd just be shaking your head going, what am I watching? What is going on here?
And I'll tell you what, Friday night, Horlick plays Park, which is ranked number 3 in the state, okay? Park likes to get up and down, too.
It's going to be another high-scoring game.
I would imagine that game's going to be in the 80s. Maybe the 90s.
But isn't that a heck of a lot more entertaining than watching a final score of 50-43? I mean, isn't that way more entertaining?
Oh, absolutely.
As a fan, that's what I want to watch. As a kid, those are the games you want to be a part of. You don't want to be a part of pass.
Well, you know what?
Shot, pass. I mean, my God.
That reminds me of when Kevin O'Neill was at Marquette. He had like I think it was the 5-pass rule.
Oh, yeah.
You had to come down and you had to pass the ball 5 times.
That's still not as bad as Dick Bennett.
No, but now we're going
Dick
back.
Bennett,
we're going
you're
back
at the NCAA tournament with Dick Bennett for the Badgers, and they have the most unathletic team in the whole tournament. Mm-hmm. And that guy gets to the Final Four winning games like, 48-36 and stuff like that. It's ridiculous.
Right. But you know what, Steve? This all trickles down from the NBA. Let's face it. It's a copycat society. What the college people see in the pros, they try to emulate. What the people in high school see the college people do, they try to emulate. Right now, who's the hottest team in the NBA?
Steph Curry and the Warriors.
And they play run and gun, get up and down the floor, launch the threes, and it's trickling right down into the high school level now. Raise your hand. You're on the floor.
We're doing the high school segment, so I'll raise my hand. This is the thing.
I'm going to demean you and say, boo.
Could you say
yeah.
that Steph Curry is better for the sport of basketball than Michael Jordan?
Absolutely, without a question. Because Michael Jordan was all highlight dunks. I mean, that's what appealed to all these kids. They didn't work on their shooting. All they did was working on their jumping abilities. Now, Steph Curry, everybody thinks he's just a shooter, which is an absolute myth. He is one of the best ball handlers I've ever seen. I mean, he comes out and does this drill with 3 balls before the game.
Are you seeing on all over, there's a 5-year-old? Something like that.
Yeah.
And he's doing the ball drills. There's another video that I saw on Twitter yesterday, day before. and they show Steph Curry making these crazy moves,
Yeah.
and this kid mimics them with all the ball
There you
handling
go.
skills, and then does the layup like him.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
I mean, last night, for instance, they played, and he took like a 30-foot shot. He came down court, and of course,
But that's not good. I don't want kids taking 30
just have the green light. I agree. I mean, there's limits. But I think what he has done is saying, you know what? You can expand your shot. You don't have to have the 15 or 20-foot shot. You can go out to 20, 23 feet now and shoot the ball.
Again, if you get to the point here in the next 10 years where every position on the floor can take that three and can take that jumper, how much more fun is the NBA going to be to watch? Then what happens is those people that say, I'm done with the NBA, it's not as good as it used to be, blah, blah, blah. Those old people will eventually come back if shooting gets to be where it is. Because I don't know how, regardless if you like the NBA or not, right? And there are so many guys that like college basketball but don't like the NBA. I don't know how those people don't turn on the NBA and love watching Golden State.
Yeah, you know what? I was going to say something totally contradictory to what you said, and I was going to demean your feelings.
Yeah.
But I'm not, because the WIAA told me not to be
overly they don't care if you demean my feelings. They encourage it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they go ahead.
Everybody encourages
Go ahead and make Sparky cry. We're all for it. I mean, he's not a high school kid.
So let's get to the meat of this topic here. Our good friends at the WIAA.
They stink. I mean, I don't. I've been all over those people at the WIAA, Dave Anderson and Deb Hauser, and all those people at the WIAA forever. You know that. I've always had beef with how they do things, and this just further goes to prove it. Now, what people do need to know is this has been around since like '97. These rules have been in place, or guidelines, or whatever you want to call them.
Sure,
okay?
Absolutely.
And that's fine. This gets exposed because a high school student says inappropriate words, which she shouldn't have done.
Right.
She probably should have been reprimanded. You can debate whether it was worth 5 games or not. I don't know about all that. But so she should have been reprimanded for it. But because of that now you have journalists and people looking in to see, okay, what are these rules? And now when they see what the rules are, you can't do the wave, you can't boo, you can't try and distract a free throw shooter or do anything to distract a player on the court, and all this other stuff.
You can't untie the opponent's shoestring or anything?
Yeah, well, no, I didn't see that. You might be able to do that. Kids, there you go. But I mean, that type of stuff, now that it's exposed, and they continue to say, well, that's been in place forever. Well, fine, you can say whatever you want, but now you've been exposed. It's not just fix it. Instead of saying, well, we've done it forever, don't be stubborn and stupid. Just go fix it now and fix the problem. I don't know if you follow Jay Billis on Twitter, but he has been crushing the WIAA for the last 48 hours.
Yeah, you know, the problem
2 days ago,
that,
when this came out on Monday, he was on Twitter, I'd say, for a good hour with all these different chants that kids should be screaming at Wisconsin high school basketball games. And then yesterday he came back and went back at him again. I mean, they are really the laughingstock of the country right now. And they seem fine with it, I guess.
Listen, they're oblivious to what goes on in the real world.
Clearly.
I mean they probably don't even know who Jay Billis is, so it doesn't matter. But this is just the latest in a string of just idiotic things they have done. And the problem is they have nobody to regulate them. It's pretty much what we tell you to do, you do, everybody steps in line. There's no competition. If Horlick High School wants to leave the WIAA, where do you go?
Right.
Nowhere. So, I mean, they run that. With an iron fist.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And there's absolutely nothing that you can do at this point. And the high school kids, but see, the other thing about this is this. So they say it's been around since 1997. Can I ask you a question? Why do you have this even written down and nobody enforces it?
Exactly.
What is the point of it?
Okay.
It is and now Gary Ellerson on the Big Show, weekdays 2 to 6, said this. The reason they have it is so they don't get sued. So if somebody does a wave and falls over and hurts themselves, they say, hey, look, it's in our guidelines that we don't allow the wave.
And
that's on the high school. That's not on us. Don't come sue us.
I understand that totally. They got to protect themselves. I understand that. I remember, now this is going back in time, I played high school basketball.
Gary, high school stories. I love these.
What do you got? I'm coming clean. I have been emotionally scarred, irreparably scarred, from the abuse I took from fans in high school.
Okay.
I'm on the JV team, right? And there's like about 20 people in the gym.
Can't be many at a JV
game. So there's a loose ball under the basket, right? One guy tips it, another guy tips it, another guy tips it. It's going back, honest to God, for like 20 times, right? I tip it in, right? one problem.
It was your basket.
Wrong basket.
Yeah.
So, I can't remember because I'm so emotionally scarred from taking all that verbal abuse. I can't even remember what school it was at. Either Plymouth or Sheboygan, one of those two. And they were all over number 12 for tipping it in. I don't know how I got through life with that.
What number did you wear?
Come on.
12?
You didn't know this? I am really, really offended. Another step, I'm going to be emotionally scarred.
I can't believe that you went after Rodgers last year or a couple of years ago and
12?
you wore his number?
Yeah, I wore his number. I knew Aaron Rodgers was going to wear 12.
Well, no, I mean, I understand.
You know
now.
who I wore it for?
I understand.
Joe Namath.
Yeah, but now I understand why Aaron wears 12.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
We never asked Rodgers, but I think that's because of you.
But you know what? Every time I walk into a gym, I'm just emotionally scarred from that incident. That fan abuse. Where was the WIAA when I needed
Look,
them?
this is the thing. You shouldn't be yelling anything vulgar. There should be no racial chants. That stuff. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with all that. None of that should be allowed. I'm with you.
Right.
But to say you can't boo, you can't do the wave,
You know what they?
you can't distract a free throw shooter.
How about every school banding together and having a night where all the fans can say whatever they want?
But they
What's the
can't.
WIA going to do? Hey, you guys can't play basketball now for 2 weeks.
But Gary, that's just it. None of the schools are enforcing those guidelines.
Yeah.
None of them are.
Oh, some of them are. Some of them are.
They haven't been for since 1997.
No,
Gary.
but they are now. I mean, who was in fact, you was on your show, or you had an excerpt from the coach in Middleton or
wherever he was, yeah.
Outside of Madison, and he was all on board with this.
Yeah.
Because what goes on in the classroom has to apply what goes on a basketball court. You know the only problem I have with that too? You've been to high school basketball.
Can I say something?
You raised your hand.
Okay, good. If they allowed students to boo teachers, they would. Just saying. Talk to you next time here at Racine.
You better be careful. The WIA might be watching it and reprimand you for saying that now.
Here I am. RacineSportsZone.com. That's where we're at. We'll be here again next week. We'll talk to you then. Ta-ta.